And welcome back to the 2022-2023 Big West Men's Basketball Preview Show as we count down the top 5 in the Big West Coaches Poll. Now on to number 4, the UC Irvine Anteaters. And Richie, when you talk about coaches polls in the preseason, this is unfamiliar ground for the Anteaters.
This is very intriguing to me. I've been covering the Big West for 10 years. I have never seen UC Irvine preseason ranked 4th. They've always been in the upper 2, 3, oftentimes number 1. They've been regular season champs 5 of the last 9 years. Now, they've got a youthful roster. They got a team full of players for the 3rd year in a row who will not exhaust their eligibility at the end of the year. So they're young again, but 11 returners, 3 starters. They got some size. They're going to be good. I'm a little surprised that their preseason ranked this low, though.
Well, the losses are probably the key to the vote. Colin Velp, Austin Johnson, those guys now no longer on the club.
You're talking about a primetime defender in Austin Johnson. I mean, a guy that wanted to impact the game on that end, could get blocked shots pretty much anytime he wanted. He was number 1 in the league in doing so. And then you have Colin Velp, who for 2 years in a row was a candidate to be Big West Player of the Year. He was a very versatile 6'9" man, could play inside and out. He was a co-captain, and he really improved throughout the course of 4 years. So, yeah, they're missing some familiar size and some bigger names here for UC Irvine down inside the paint.
And one of the key returners, Dawson Baker, he was all Big West honorable mention a season ago. What does he bring to the table?
Well, he's always consistent. He's their dog now. He can score it. He can rebound it. He's tough. There's times he got injured. You'd think he'd be out 3 weeks. He'd only be out 2 because he'd be back in there playing. He's an all-conference player, hard-nosed kind of guy. Top 25 guy in scoring in multiple categories in the league. And I think he's going to really elevate his role here this year. It's needed for UC Irvine to be really good again this year.
So Russell Turner in his 13th season has his fellow coaches vote his team 4th. How does he make sure that he's a surprise team and better than what the other coaches think?
Well, they're different. They play more traditional. They play with 2 bigs. They always have played that way. They're really an inside-outside attacking team. They're oftentimes one of the best rebounding teams in the entire country. Defensive percentage, one of the best teams in the country. If they can get back to that. Last year, he talked a lot about how he didn't feel like his players were as tough as he thought they'd be, especially in conference play. I'm sure, especially once he sees that their preseason ranked 4th, there's going to be a chip on their shoulder, and he's got motivation from here to the beginning of the year.
Well, when we return, we'll hear from the head coach, Russell Turner, as he sits down with our Molly Sullivan. That's next.
The B1 Performance Patch elevates physical functions by transforming carbs into glucose used to fuel the body. Don't compete without it. Visit buyb1.com or on social media at B1Patch.
Power isn't born, it's built over time. For over 65 years, Hercules Tires has been providing the muscle to move more drivers. Whatever the vehicle, whatever the terrain, and we back it with a powerful protection plan. So wherever the road or the trail takes you, we have the selection, value, and strength to get you there. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com.
The Big West is back in Las Vegas. Don't miss the 2023 Hercules Tires Big West Basketball Championships, presented by the Hawaiian Islands, March 7th through the 11th at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Catch the pulse-pounding action as 20 men's and women's teams battle to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Get the best seats in the house at ucirvinesports.com/buyticks or call 949-824-5000.
Russell Turner in his 13th season guiding the UC Irvine Anteaters. looking forward to the 2022-23 men's basketball season in the Big West. He had a chance to visit with our Molly Sullivan.
Hey,
It's been a few months.
Yeah, it has been, Molly. It's good to see you too. Thanks for having me on here.
Yeah, you're entering your 13th season. Wild. What's going through your mind here as we get ready to rock?
Well, that we have a lot of work to do, and that I'm excited about the start of another year. My team's excited, my staff's excited, and we know it's a long run that we've got in front of us to peak in March. But that's what we're going to be aiming to do again.
The last time I saw you, or our crew saw you on the sideline, Coach, was that tough loss in the quarterfinals, UC Santa Barbara. How are you going to use that loss to propel your team going forward here this season?
Yeah, we're gonna work very hard to do just that. It was an unusual feeling for us to bow out in the first round of the Big West tournament. That's not something that we'd experienced for a long time. We've got to figure out ways to be at our competitive best in March, because that's what this league requires. That's what mid-major basketball requires. I think we know how to do it. We need to get back to a level of humility that's more competitive.
Touching on that, Coach, when you bring things back to home plate, right, and keep them grounded in that work ethic of which you are known for around the league and across the country, where do you go first? Is it a fundamental thing? Is it bringing it back to the basics? Where do you go first with that?
I think that, we probably just became distracted from the most important things. I've got belief in the commitment of our players. I got belief in the character of our players. We do have a good amount of staff continuity. And so what I'm hoping is that we needed the type of result that we had last year to reset, to refocus. We were a really good team last year in December. I think around December 15th, our net was probably higher than it's ever been. We had some really good results early in the season. And then our whole team got COVID, and then the schedule was impacted by other teams also having COVID. I don't know that we ever fully recovered from that. That's all in the past, and we can learn a lot of lessons from it. But I think we just got to get back to the most basic things, which is where I'm going to direct my team towards our core values.
And with that said, you've got 5 new players running the floor with you this season, returning 3 starters. Let's start with those 3 starters, the leaders of your core team here, and break down what did you see in the offseason? What can we look forward to?
Well, our guys are working hard. I think that we've renewed our commitment to the weight room, some of which was not as available to us because of COVID. I think we've had some really strong performances in the conditioning tests that we use. We're working, and we're going to shoot the ball better this year than we did last year. I think that the year wore on last season. We just collectively had a poor shooting season. I thought we also played selfishly on the offensive end. So sometimes I think you need to go through a little bit of that type of experience in order to be as focused on improving as you need. I think that's where we're going to be.
And how about the new players? What was it about them? What was the X factor on the floor for these guys that you thought is a perfect fit for your program, Coach?
We changed some guys on our roster from last year. We hadn't had the type of turnover in previous years that we have had in this offseason. So none of the guys that left our team were guys who were scheduled to graduate. The guys that we brought in are all guys that we feel like fit specific needs on the court, but then also that fit us really well off the court in terms of the type of things that are most important to them. We've got a competitive group. I've got 16 guys on my team. All of them can play. All of them are here expecting and hoping to play and contribute this year to a championship level team. We've been a team that has consistently protected the rim as well as any team in the country. That'll continue to be the case for us. We do that in part because we have a lot of big guys, and this team's no different. We have a lot of big guys. We have guys with shot blocking ability. We have guys with size to protect the paint. We're going to have that again, and that'll never stop being a staple of our team. I don't think while I'm here as the coach. We got guys prepared to step into those roles. Bent Lloydston played significant minutes in every game last year. Dean Keeler is a guy who's been in our program for a long time. We've got additional young guys that we've brought in to fill the role that our centers have played really well. A number of them being named Defensive Player of the Year. I think that we've got some consistency that we can count on in that area of the floor for us. And then we're going to build our defense around that rim protection ability.
Well, you got 242 wins and 158 losses. It seems to me like your team sure learns from those losses. Number one thing we have to look forward to in the Big West slate as we come into you here from Henderson, Nevada. You will be here in the spring. What's the number one thing that your fans and Big West viewers have to look forward to this season?
Well, our team's going to be competitive again, and we think we're going to be really good. I think there's great competition in our conference. There are a number of teams who probably expect to have teams that are as good as they've had in a long time. I've said many years in a row now that in the Big West on any night, any team in the league can beat another. We've come out on the top of a lot of those battles because of the consistency of our performance and our character. I think we're going to have consistency in our performance and in our character again if we do the things that I expect us to do as a team and as a staff, starting with practice on Monday.
All right, Coach, thanks for your time. We'll hope to see you here in Henderson and making some noise.
Okay, thank you, Molly. I appreciate it.
The Big West is back in Las Vegas. Order your tickets today for the 2023 Hercules Tires Big West Basketball Championships presented by the Hawaiian Islands, March 7th through the 11th at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Don't miss a minute of pulse-pounding action as 20 men's and women's teams battle to punch their ticket to the next level. Get the best seats in the house at ucirvinesports.com/buytix or call 949-824-5000.
The B1 Performance Patch elevates physical functions by transforming carbs into glucose used to fuel the body. Don't compete without it. Visit buyb1.com or on social media at B1Patch.
Malama Aina, to care for the land is an engagement between people and place. When we all malama, there's nothing we can't change.
Learn how you can malama Hawaii at gohawaii.com/malama.
Sometimes faster isn't always better. Like when you're getting a tattoo. Or saying I love you on the first date. Or putting together certain Swedish furniture.
But when it comes to getting in and out of the airport, faster is always better. And at Ontario International Airport, you can have a stress-free experience from the curb to the gate.
It's the least we can do.
The Big West is back in Las Vegas. Don't miss the 2023 Hercules Tires Big West Basketball Championships, presented by the Hawaiian Islands, March 7th through the 11th at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Catch the pulse-pounding action as 20 men's and women's teams battle to punch their ticket to the NCAA tournament. Get the best seats in the house at ucirvinesports.com/buytix or call 949-824-5000.
Well, welcome back to the men's basketball preview show as we wrap up UC Irvine. And Richie, this is a team that has high expectations, no question about it. Last season, they lost to UC Santa Barbara in the Big West quarterfinals. That's something that UC Irvine wants to improve on. They want to get better than that. Semifinals or the finals, obviously, is their goal to get past where they were a year ago.
Yeah, it's a well-run program. And Russell Turner has graduated 100% of the kids who have stayed and finished their eligibility, and it's always done it by playing during the course of the season. And it's not surprising to have 11 or 12 guys play in a game for UC Irvine. And as they get more down the stretch, players get more experience. They can tighten the roster come Big West play. They're a team that you can never sleep on. I'm really surprised by the 4th preseason ranking, but with the losses of a couple of their great players, I guess I can understand why the coaches went that route. But I would not be surprised to see if they get this thing figured out and come March in Henderson be really successful.
Well, that's a look at the Anteaters. And when we continue on the Big West Men's Basketball Preview Show, we'll start counting you down from number 3 in the Big West Coaches Poll. That's next.